What we have here is an Encon. Yes, this thing here is an Encon. Yeah. Hey, and it's ball socket. Mm-hmm. It's got some storage rash. Where's the label? Here's the label. As you can see here, it has a label and it's made in Hong Kong. "56-inch fan. It's rated for 1 amp. Yeah. It has a ball socket canopy, which I don't understand. It's almost reminiscent of a CEC that I have, or a Kenroy, or not Kenroy, or who else used this style canopy? A couple of brands did, but as for the OEM of this thing, I have no idea who made it. No friggin' idea. The yoke under the lower canopy is cast iron. The motor itself, it is stamped steel. So something weird here. Those who are not, well, no one's aware, but this is yet another Chocolate Factory special. Because apparently Willy Wonka carried a lot of Encon. And not just Crompton Greaves. No, he carried early 80s Encon. Mid 80s Encon. Late 80s Encon, yeah. He carried the obscure stuff. Now this product here is essentially what Encon had for their industrial fan after Crompton Greaves no longer supplied them as the OEM. So, yeah, Crompton Greaves was made in India. This thing is made in Hong Kong, yet the motor is stamped steel, not cast iron per usual with Hong Kong fans. If I had to put a date on this thing, I would say either early to mid 80s. Somewhere within that time frame. Because, it's weird. The blades are steel. Not too heavy, but, yeah. This fan came new in its box, although the box had become a bit of a mouse nest. Friggin' mice had been nesting in there, chewing up all the styrofoam, and yeah, the fan came with a 5-speed choke control, which is the same choke control that Crompton Greaves used, only with an Encon label on it, or a modern Encon label, or, you know, their mid-80s label, whatever. But yeah, it came with a 5-speed choke. This one did not have it, probably because it had either fallen out of the box or got chewed up by the mice. I don't know, but yeah, it's weird. See, when it comes to old Encons, your mind automatically goes to Crompton Greaves because they're the most common of the old Encons. They're also the oldest. They started importing for Encon, or started making fans for Encon around, I want to say 1976, sometime in the late 70s. So those were the first Encon fans. Now this thing, again, I don't know who made it, but this is post Crompton Greaves. So, anyway, we're going to see how this weird thing performs. So, we're going to, because the fan is new in its box, the bearings have to break in, so it does not do anything on low. And for reference, I'm using a Nutone 4-speed wall control rated for 1.5 amps. So because either the bearings are stiff or it just doesn't want to work on the lowest setting, it is at medium low. Which, for this fan, is, again, an okay low speed. Not too slow, but not too fast. Good enough. Part of me almost wants to say that this fan was made by the same OEM as, like, Palco or something like that, but I don't know who the hell made this thing. Complete mystery. Because when it comes, yeah, Encon's early fans were best known as Crompton Grease, but within the early to mid 80s, no, their line was a bit weird, a bit more obscure, because they weren't selling as well, or I don't know. But yeah, the fan has a little bit of a hum. Nothing terrible. Now we are going to go to medium high. I think in the early 90s, maybe late 80s, the industrial offering by Encon was actually made by TAT. And then eventually Aircool started supplying them until they turned into Westinghouse. Only by label, only by name. So the medium's pretty average. Anyway, let's now go up to high. High speed, it's okay. It's not overwhelming. Like, if I had to compare it to anything, I would compare it to a Dayton/Leading Edge quote-unquote ring fan. You know, it's a lower, it's like a second tier offering in terms of performance. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. So yeah. It does alright. Let's now let it coast. See, now most industrials through the 80s and 90s, even today, have bell canopies. This was the 80s and a ball socket canopy. That's weird. Because fans like this were usually made for industrial use, where you'd be hanging from a J-hook, and again, because the bearings are very stiff, the spin down time is very short. So, maybe this was more for commercial use. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with this thing. So, there you have it. An Encon Industrial made by God knows who. And another Chocolate Factory special.